Joel Norwood here with Ohio AgNet and Ohio's Country Journal. Coverage from the 2022 National FFA Convention brought to you by Wilmington College. More information at wilmington.edu. It's a pleasure to be joined by your Star American Farmer finalist from Ohio, Zane Hagemeyer. Zane, thank you so much for joining us here today from the Elmwood FFA chapter, and tell us a bit about your work that's gone into this over the years to make you a finalist here at the National Convention.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work that's gone into it. My project is I background beef cattle. I summarize that as a type of beef production that maximizes the use of forages to transition a calf off of pasture, get them ready for a feedlot scenario. I've always been very passionate about the beef industry, so starting out in FFA as a freshman, I had 20 head of feeder cattle as my SAE, and fattened them out, sold them. I wasn't real happy with the results, so I transitioned over into backgrounding, and I've been very happy with how that's gone. Basically, I bring cattle in usually between that 300 to 400 pound range. I usually sell them anywhere between 600 and 800 pounds. Throughout my SAE, I've got up to about 70 head, and then junior year, I started custom feeding cattle for a local farmer.
What's been some of the biggest challenges as you've learned sort of the custom feeding business over the years?
One of the greatest challenges is kind of the rate of gain, because if you don't have rate of gain, you don't have a lot of profit, and you kind of got to make sure that that's there. So going into it, I wasn't really sure. I came from finishing cattle, so it was a very high energy kind of feed ration, and going into backgrounding, they eat a lot more forage, so it's lower energy. It's a little harder to get the gains. You got to balance it right. So over the years, I just kind of learned what kind of mix I feed. Ground corn and distiller's grain, and that works pretty good for me to get around 2 pounds of daily gain.
What are you keeping an eye on as far as the feeder cattle markets and otherwise down the road? I mean, how does the beef on dairy situation play into it for your perspective?
Feeder cattle markets are pretty strong right now. They have been here, especially currently throughout the last year. Feed prices are through the roof too, but I'm selling cattle right now higher than I ever have, so I really got to keep an eye on it, try to get them bought right, and make sure I don't lose my shirt as far as buying them expensive and have to sell them cheap due to the markets. But yeah.
You've sort of made your own path, made your own future. You said, hey, I wanted to go do this, and did it. What advice would you have for maybe younger members out there that are saying, hey, Zane's up there, he's got a pretty cool video that we've been seeing all week ahead of convention, and I would like to be in his shoes someday?
The most important thing is you just kind of got to do it. I knew that I wanted to feed cattle when I got older, so I just kind of started out with, I actually had 13 dairy calves that I had bought very first when I was 13 years old. And, they were just young bottle calves. They were cheap. They were just off the bottle. But, yeah, it's what you can do is just do it. And if you're passionate about it, the success will be there. So you'll find it as long as you're willing to do the work.
Zane Hagemeyer of the Elmwood FFA chapter joining us here. He's a finalist for the Star American Farmer Award, one of the most coveted awards in the National FFA organization. I'm Joel Norwood. Thanks for being with us.
We are Wilmington College,
where agricultural experience and learning meet.
The leadership and personal development skills I learned in FFA have allowed me to excel in the classroom and in our campus community.
Out of four-year institutions, Wilmington College provides our students with the most hands-on experience starting year one at the academic farm.
At Wilmington College, the farm is our lab.
Because of Wilmington College, I have grown as a person, professional, and leader.
I've been able to further my education as a first-generation college student.
We are Wilmington College. Hands-on learning, hands-on living.